Marisa Rothman.
I'm Danielle at Danielle TBD.
And this is our Vodcast, We Have Thoughts. And that was my phone.
So what are we talking about today? I was told that I'm going to be surprised right now, so.
No, to be clear, she was like, surprise me.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I told her.
I mean, well, we're talking about premieres, season premieres and how they've set up the season, what we think is going to happen, or what we think may be good or bad about what's to come based on what we've seen. And I said, surprise me with what show we're going to talk about.
Surprise, we're talking about NASHVILLE first.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fresh in the mind.
Fresh in the mind. And this, I'm sure the ABC people will want to murder me when I say this.
Oh, here we go.
But when I watched the premiere last night, first of all, I was actually astonished by how many negative things I was seeing online. Like, cause I ended up watching it last, because ABC didn't make it available for us pre-premiere, which was bizarre.
It made me think that it was a little super fun night where they were not happy with it.
And
didn't
to be
want
fair,
us to say bad things.
I think is the case, because a couple of networks have done that this year. And that it, to be fair, could also have been coming in late, but since they decided to make another episode available, it very much felt like they were aware that it had issues. And so, you know, I watched, there are 45 things on Wednesday night, so it was literally the last thing I watched. And in the time, I wasn't actively trolling Twitter the entire time, because I was not looking to get spoiled. I saw about 75 negative things to literally 2 good things about the premiere. I mean, it might have actually been more than 75 negative things. And so I watched it and I was a little wary about it. And I honestly almost feel like I was undersold by how bad it was. Because when I watched the premiere, I was very much thinking of, oh my god, we have our Smash 2.0. Don't kill me, ABC. And it's a situation where I actually, while I know people, I didn't actually see any complaints about music. I was actually underwhelmed by music last night.
I mean, I'm not a good judge of that. I don't really like country music.
I love country music. You know, I actually own one of the soundtracks. I own one of them. I like their music, even when the episodes haven't been their strongest. The music has normally been strong for me. I could tell you that, you know, Gunnar and Scarlett sang a song at the end. I know Hayden sang a song, and at one point, aside from that, I don't know if there really was much music. It was kind of forgettable.
No, I mean, to be honest, they had a lot. You know, they had a lot to clean up and to deal with from the season finale, and then they wanted to introduce a lot of new people and new threads. So I think they did
always
detract from the music.
And it's like, you know, season 2s are very fascinating because, you know, there's always that freshman, the fear of after having a successful in this case freshman season, the sophomore slump.
Sure.
And oftentimes, even with good shows, and some of my favorite shows have started off season 2 a little bit too heavy-handed in terms of either exposition or trying to shove too much in at once. And it's a pattern, and it's not something that's exclusive to Nashville. But at the same time, I was watching that, I'm like, there are 5 million things going on. It would have been a much cleaner episode if they had just, say, focused on Raina and Deacon, or Raina, Deacon, and that mess, and then Juliet, or if they had focused, just if they hadn't dealt with, you know, the miscarriage and all of this stuff at once. Like I felt like they were trying to shove 6 episodes worth of plot into 1 episode. You don't need to be Scandal. Like, Scandal can actually effectively pull it off because Shonda and that team of writers can pull off that pacing. People were commenting last night that, like, you know, they were going so fast from scene to scene to scene, you weren't letting anything sit, and they weren't wrong. Like, you know, you find out, oh, I heard the baby's heartbeat. You're a lying liar, but they immediately shot to the next scene. Like, there was, like, I don't even know if there's 5 seconds between her telling that flat out lie and moving to the next scene. It's like, you should, not that I am a director or know how to do stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, she's just set up this massive lie that she's going to have to figure out her way out of at some point, either by faking a miscarriage later on, or getting pregnant again, or faking a pregnancy. Sit with that a minute. Let us have 10 seconds of her behave with the implication of, oh, freaking hell, what did I just do?
See, I think that's indicative, though, of network television in general today, is everything, they want to move everything along so fast because they are afraid that if they don't, people will get bored and they'll tune out, or they'll stop looking at the TV and they'll go and they'll multitask. And I've always had a problem with that because I feel like if you can't sit with the characters, then you can't connect to them as deeply especially if you're only focused on the next thing that happens, you're not really invested in the world and the characters. But I will say that with a character like Peggy, I don't want to sit with her. So I was okay in that moment. What I wasn't okay with was the pacing that came before.